In our modern and busy world, the art of silence seems to have been forgotten. Everywhere we turn, there is noise, the chatter of society, and endless conversations. Yet, if we pause to reflect, we will find that there are moments when choosing silence can be as powerful as the moments we choose to speak. Silence can bring peace, deeper understanding, and is the source of inner strength. The real question is, have we ever truly considered the power and value of silence? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches people how to control themselves through reason and emotional strength. It not only advises us to be cautious with our words, but also helps us understand when to speak, when to remain silent, and more importantly, why silence can sometimes be stronger than 1,000 words. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, once said, "Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue." This wise saying serves as a gentle yet profound reminder. How many times have we regretted the words we spoke in haste or anger that we should have kept silent? Stoicism is not simply about not acting, but it is about choosing actions based on careful consideration. And in many cases, silence is the best choice. Silence is not merely the absence of words, but a powerful tool for growth, for seeking inner peace, and for developing character. Imagine if you could face life's challenges with calm and confidence, letting your silence speak more than words ever could. Stoicism teaches us that silence is not just about withholding speech, but it is a deeply felt and carefully chosen response. It is an active force, one that can calm disagreements, protect us from harm, and lead to deeper understanding of the nature of every issue. But the question is, when should we embrace silence? Let us explore 9 key moments when choosing silence is not only a wise decision, but one that can profoundly change your life. These lessons will help us appreciate the value of silence in our daily lives. As you delve into these lessons, ask yourself, how might the practice of Stoic silence change the way you deal with others and improve your own peace of mind? What if you could end a heated argument with calm silence instead of harsh words? And if silence could communicate your thoughts and emotions more powerfully than words, what would that say about you? To gain a deeper understanding, join us as we explore 9 significant moments where silence is not just a smart decision, but a life-changing one. Let the wisdom of Stoicism guide us as we learn from the power of silence. Part 1. When unfairly criticized. In life, criticism is unavoidable, and sometimes it comes unfairly. For many, the natural response is anger, defensiveness, or an attempt to prove oneself. But for Stoics, unfair criticism is not something to be feared. Instead, it is a precious opportunity to build inner strength and demonstrate integrity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, once said, "If something outside disturbs you, it is not the thing itself that harms you, but the way you think about it." This is the core of Stoicism. When criticized, what hurts us is not the criticism itself, but how we react to it. If we can change the way we perceive it, criticism can no longer harm us. When faced with criticism, stay calm and consider, is there something useful in the feedback? Disregard the unfounded negativity and focus only on what can help you improve. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, advised, "Do not just speak of your philosophy, live it." Don't let your emotions dictate your actions. Let your qualities and your work speak for themselves. Choosing not to react when unfairly criticized is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength and wisdom. It is a way of focusing on what you can control, your response and attitude. This calm silence not only keeps your inner peace, but also commands respect from others, showing the strength of your character. When faced with criticism, think about how silence can give you the opportunity to reflect on yourself. What might change if you choose thoughtful silence over immediate reaction? By applying the principles of Stoicism to daily life, especially when unfairly criticized, we cultivate self-respect and inspire others to do the same. Stoicism reminds us that we don't need to defend our honor with words. Our actions and integrity will speak volumes. Part 2. Silence in the midst of boasting. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone else is boasting about their achievements, and you feel the urge to counter with your own? In such situations, Stoicism teaches us the power of silence. Instead of engaging in a subtle competition, we can choose to remain silent and listen. This silence is not a sign of passivity or weakness. It is a sign of confidence and steadiness. When you choose not to respond with words, your silence conveys a powerful message. You do not need external validation to feel proud of your achievements. This silence is an expression of maturity and inner control, showing that you are not swayed by the boasts of others. Instead of boasting back, let your actions speak for themselves. Maintain your calm and stay focused on what truly matters. Stoicism teaches us that silence in such situations is not just a way to protect our honor, but a way to show our inner confidence. It is strategic, powerful, and wise silence. Part 3. When facing anger. Anger is a natural emotion, but if left unchecked, it can lead to destructive outcomes. When we are angry, the feeling can be like a storm, sweeping away all calmness and reason. In moments like these, Stoicism offers us a powerful tool: silence. Epictetus once said, "Be silent for the most part, and speak only when necessary." When we choose silence instead of reacting with anger, we give ourselves the chance to think and evaluate the situation objectively. This silence helps us prevent conflict from escalating and allows us to find better solutions to the problem. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more harmful are the consequences of anger than the things which made us angry in the first place?" This reminds us that, in anger, we often tend to react in ways that make the situation worse. By choosing silence, we not only protect ourselves from negative outcomes, but also build inner strength and grow in maturity. Part 4. Silence amidst unfounded rumors. Rumors seem unavoidable in life, but how we handle them is what matters most. When baseless rumors begin to spread, the natural human reaction is to explain, to deny, and to defend. But Stoicism offers us a different approach: silence. Think about the story of a teacher in a small town who was falsely accused of misconduct. Rumors spread, people talked, but instead of explaining or denying every rumor, the teacher chose silence and continued to live truthfully, staying committed to her values. This silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a wise decision based on understanding and confidence in oneself. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This advice is especially useful when faced with rumors that can damage our reputation. Instead of reacting to every rumor, we should focus on what we can control: our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Silence is how we show our confidence in ourselves without the need for explanation. When we refuse to engage with the whirlwind of rumors, we demonstrate the power of silence, and the truth will eventually reveal itself. Remember, rumors cannot harm us unless we allow them to. Stoic silence not only protects our souls from unnecessary harm, but also shows calmness and inner strength. Part 5. How to deal with loss. Loss is an inevitable part of life. We lose loved ones, opportunities, and sometimes even dreams and hopes. Every loss leaves a void in our hearts, and often, silence is the only companion we can find in those moments. But Stoicism approaches loss differently. Instead of trying to fill the void with words, explanations, or immediate remedies, we are advised to embrace silence and allow it to guide us through the process of acceptance and deeper understanding of life. C.S. Lewis, a famous author who experienced the pain of losing his wife, wrote in his book, A Grief Observed, "The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before." This is a deeply Stoic way of viewing loss. Stoicism teaches us that every experience, whether it brings joy or pain, is part of the natural flow of life. We cannot control external events, but we can control how we react to them. As philosopher Seneca said, "The day we fear as our last is but the birthday of eternity." This reminds us that every loss, no matter how painful, is not the end, but part of the natural cycle of life and death. Each loss presents an opportunity for us to reflect, to accept, and to grow. When we face the silence that follows loss, we don't just see the pain, we find a deep serenity and a greater understanding of life. Silence in pain is not a sign of avoidance or denial. It is a way to give ourselves time and space to reflect, to heal, and to seek meaning beyond the immediate suffering. Stoicism teaches us that instead of trying to fill the void with explanations or distractions, we should allow the pain to unfold naturally, and in time, we will find peace. Part 6. Facing ignorance with Stoic patience. Ignorance is a common phenomenon in human society. We often encounter people who do not understand a subject but hold strong beliefs as if they were experts. These situations can be frustrating and even disheartening. But for Stoics, these moments are opportunities to practice patience and grace. One famous example of facing ignorance with silence is the story of Galileo Galilei, the scientist who defended the heliocentric view of the solar system during a time when most people still believed the sun revolved around the earth. Despite facing strong opposition and even being sentenced to house arrest, Galileo remained calm and steadfast in his commitment to the truth. He understood that the truth does not need to be defended with words; it will prove itself in time. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the thoughts and actions of others, but we can control how we react. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not external events." Silence in the face of ignorance is not a sign of weakness or powerlessness, but a sign of deep understanding that truth does not need argument to be recognized. Part 7. How to deal with rumors. Rumors can disrupt life, damage reputations, and cause great stress. But Stoicism teaches us that instead of confronting every rumor, we should maintain silence and let our actions speak for us. When someone spreads false stories about you, the best response is not to argue or explain, but to continue living according to your values. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Silence in these situations not only helps us maintain our peace, but also allows the truth to reveal itself. When no explanation is given, people around us will eventually see the truth through our actions and character. The Stoic practice of silence in dealing with rumors is not a passive choice. It is a wise strategy to preserve our dignity and honor. Let the truth be revealed through time, and remember that nothing is more powerful than silence when it comes from confidence and integrity. Part 8. When confronted with injustice. Life is full of injustice, and none of us can escape the moments when we are faced with it. But how we respond to injustice will determine whether we can rise above it. In moments of injustice, Stoicism teaches us to remain silent and patient. Do not let anger or the desire for revenge control you. Remember, true strength does not lie in retaliation, but in the ability to remain calm and compassionate, even when treated unfairly. Nelson Mandela, who endured over 27 years in prison for his fight against apartheid in South Africa, is a living example of facing injustice with patience and forgiveness. Instead of harboring anger or seeking revenge upon his release, Mandela chose the path of reconciliation and unity. It was Mandela's silence and forgiveness that brought about profound change for his nation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who caused the injury." Stoic silence in the face of injustice is not about passive acceptance, but a strategic choice to maintain dignity and character. It allows us to focus on what we can control, our response. Part 9. How to handle insults with Stoic wisdom. Insults can cut deep, but only if we allow them to. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." Insults can only hurt if we accept them as truth. When someone insults you, instead of reacting immediately, choose silence. Understand that silence is not just a way to avoid conflict, but a way to protect yourself from negative emotions. Consider the example of Mahatma Gandhi, who faced many insults and resistance in his fight for India's independence, but he never responded with anger. He chose silence and held firm in his beliefs. Silence in the face of insults is not surrender. It is a demonstration of strength and wisdom. It allows us to maintain calm and control over the situation, showing others that insults cannot shake our value. Conclusion. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Stoicism teaches us that silence is not weakness, but one of the strongest expressions of inner control. By knowing when to remain silent and when to speak, we can live a life that is more peaceful, happier, and fulfilled. Let your silence be a symbol of your confidence and deep understanding.